Over the last couple months, I sat down and caught every single shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Legends CA and the Mega Dimension DLC. On top of that, I made myself a living dex with every single Pokemon that could spawn in shiny, and I'm here today to talk about my journey through Lumiose to find every shiny, as well as explaining just how you can go about getting shinies in this game as well. It goes without saying, but there are a lot of spoilers for Legends CA and the Mega Dimension DLC ahead, so you've been warned. For the first chapter of my journey, I'm going to quickly blaze through the entire story for the game since I didn't really hunt any shinies while playing the game. When Legends EA was announced, I was over the moon since my personal favorite Pokemon game is Legends Arceus. I never intended to catch every single shiny Pokemon in the game, I just wanted to play it for fun. On my first day of playing, I was just going zone to zone and catching every Pokemon I could find, when something amazing happened in Zone 5. My first ever shiny in this game happened barely 2 hours in, and it was a shiny Venipede. I actually thought I missed the shiny at first because I heard the sparkles but thought they spawned on the roof above me and I didn't know how to get up there. We didn't know that shinies were saved into memory yet, so I thought I lost it and was super sad. And then when I heard the sparkles again 20 minutes later, I thought I was the luckiest player ever. But I realized now that it actually just was the same Pokemon that never despawned. From here, I played through the entire game with my shiny Scolipede at my side, popping off when I discovered they gave my boy a Mega Evolution in Legends. After I finished the story, I then started working towards finishing my living dex in the game, just without the shinies, since I do that for every Pokemon game I play since I love catching Pokemon so much. While I was doing this, I stumbled upon my second shiny Pokemon, Clefairy. I panicked super hard because at the time, I didn't know that shiny Pokemon had an increased catch chance, nor that they saved into memory, so I just threw an Ultra Ball at it. Finally, after finishing the Pokedex, I decided to spend some time to actually unlock the shiny charm so that I can hunt for shinies if I wanted to. While I was working on the research tasks, I learned that the way that shinies work in this game is that they were saved into your memory, so you can hunt by just warping to the same place over and over again. I decided to try that for myself after I got my shiny charm, and was blown away at how fast I found 2 shiny Pikachu. I got them both in about 10 minutes, and it was here that I thought, I wonder how fast I can catch them all. From here, I spent the next month slowly but surely catching every single Pokemon all throughout Lumiose City. As new strategies were discovered, I tried new methods, and eventually I had caught all the shiny Pokemon in the city, and started working on making a video about how I got all 227 shiny Pokemon. I wanted to explain how to catch each and every Pokemon in the game with a lot of detail, but I didn't finish the video before the DLC came out, and the DLC completely obsoleted everything. On the first day of the DLC, I was just playing again normally. When I saw that you can make donuts to get certain buffs, I noticed instantly that there was the shiny Pokemon symbol in the trainer tips, and I knew that we would finally have a way of increasing our shiny odds in Legends. Up until now, the only way to increase shiny odds was to just get the shiny charm, changing the chance from a 1 in 4096 to a 1 in 1024. But now with sparkling power, we were able to raise them all the way up to a 1 in 585 with the shiny charm. From here, I just continued playing through the DLC, making donuts with sweet points since I had a strong feeling that pink would be where the sparkling power came from. Eventually, I finished the main story of the game and really looked into what everyone else had found and learned how to make sparkling power 3, and started working on getting all the new Pokemon in the DLC. I want to mention as well that in the DLC, not only did they add 132 new Pokemon, they also added a lot of regional forms that don't have their own Pokedex numbers. Doing this, I calculated that there was an additional 17 Pokemon that are different forms that don't have any special Pokedex numbers, and I wanted to get those as well. For what I count as an additional form, I decided that if the model of the Pokemon changed in a substantial way, or the stats or the typing changed, then that was what I would hunt for. So all the Meowths are different typing, so they count, and the 2 Toxtricity have different stats and forms, so they count. But all the Flabébé colors or Squawkabilly colors don't count. Counting these guys, as well as the 117 new DLC Pokemon that weren't shiny locked, as well as the 227 Pokemon from Lumiose City, there are 361 total shinies that I had to hunt now. So how about I explain the method I used to catch everything? When you talk to Nurse Joy at the Pokemon Center, the game leaves a backup save that you can load if anything were to go wrong. From here, if you go and make a donut with Ansha and you don't like the results, you can load the backup and try again. Normally, the game autosaves the frame you make the donut, But by doing this, you can bypass this until you find what you're looking for. To have the most effective hunts possible, you want to have Sparkling Power 3 and no less. Now, as well as making your shiny odds 1 in 585 for the typing listed, Sparkling Power 3 has one additional effect. It guarantees you a shiny Pokemon of the typing listed. What this means is that we can guarantee ourselves a shiny Pokemon we desire if we play it smart. Let's first start by considering a Pokemon like Tinkatink. Tinkatink has the typing Fairy and Steel. If we see a Distortion that has Steel-type Pokemon and Tinkatink is listed, we can bring a Fairy-type donut into that Distortion with Sparkling Power, and the increased odds will only impact Tinkatink. Furthermore, the first shiny Pokemon that is guaranteed to spawn will also be a Tinkatink, since the only Fairy Pokemon that can be affected is Tinkatink. By doing this, we can target specific dual-type Pokemon, but we can also use this guaranteed shiny to target other Pokemon with singular typing. Before we go into a Distortion, we first want to set a backup with Nurse Joy, just like when we were making donuts. I recommend doing this regardless when you're about to enter a Distortion, just in case something goes super wrong or you get super unlucky hunting. From there, you can enter the hyperspace and see what the first shiny is, and if you don't find what you're looking for, you can reload the backup and try again. The Pokemon inside the hyperspace don't change, but the spawn locations do change. You can keep doing this until you get the spawn to be exactly what you're looking for. Furthermore, by doing this method, we can manipulate the game to put our desired targets next to the entrance portal. From here, we can just spam warp to the entrance of the Distortion and reload every Pokemon in that outbreak. This is effectively just like shiny hunting in the base game of ZA, but now we have 6 targets all being impacted at once with better odds. The last thing I want to mention is that there are 5 legendary Pokemon that are not shiny locked in the DLC that you can hunt. They are the Swords of Justice, Latios, and Latios. I of course hunted these guys as well, and I'll try my best to show in the background here how I hunted each, but basically the best way to hunt them all is to save your game close to a good spot and then start running laps in and outside their spawn and despawn radius. The worst two are Virizion and Latios, since you can't see them despawn or respawn, so you don't know when you're done. But Latios really was super frustrating, since I couldn't find a good spot that didn't require me to soft reset every single time I checked, because I found it to be faster than walking all the way back to where I figured it despawned. Anyways, I continued catching every single Pokemon in the game until I had only 2 shinies left to catch, Sliggoo and Goodra. Well, Hisuian Sliggoo and Goodra. They only spawn in 5-star hyperspace distortions, which you can only get once you finish the main story of the DLC. Basically, every 25,000 survey points, Felipe will scan for a random distortion. This is the only way to find the Baxcalibur line, Rodon, Gimmighoul, Hisuian Avalugg, and Hisuian Sliggoo and Goodra. Despite me doing the 5-star scan every time I got the 25,000 points to see if I can get another legendary Pokemon, I only got a single space with the Hisuian Sliggoo and Goodra. And unfortunately, I got it before I fully understood how to hunt shinies effectively in the DLC, so I didn't get them there. After I got my third to last Pokemon Latios, I started scanning and scanning and scanning, trying to get this hyperspace. It took me like 30 tries to get. I got literally so many duplicates of everything else, and don't even get me started on the Battle Zone hyperspaces. I decided to stream the end of the hunt because I got so bored of playing by myself, and you can really just see how painful it was to grind the research points. Like, I already was over battling in this game after I did the 1000 to get my shiny charm. Finally though, I got the Distortion. Rightfully? Like, this time it's gonna be it, rightfully? It's definitely not gonna be another Battle Zone that features water-type Pokemon, rightfully? I got it! Oh my god, I can actually finish the living text! Oh my god, finally! Oh. Yeah, I'll catch it. I fault this. So there's oh, that's done. Don't be stubborn. There we go. Oh my god. Get me out of here. It had finally been done. I had gotten every single shiny in all of Lumiose City, and it only took me about 650 hours of playtime to achieve it. I want to mention that there were a lot of AFK strategies when ZA first came out with turbo controllers that I saw a lot of people doing. For me personally, I never used a turbo controller because I don't own one. So that is 650 hours of pure dedication to get my living shiny deck. I don't think I'll ever do something like this again. At least not to the scale I did so in Legend ZA. I purely only found this to be something worth going for because the game saved the shinies into memory, which I don't think they'll ever do again. But if they do, I might consider trying it in the future games as well. But for now, that is one hell of a chunk out of my living shiny national decks that I want to get one day. So I think that's a good place to stop here for a long time. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya!